I was once commissioned to paint a portrait of Gyles Brandreth's cat.
OK. Would you point out to some of the younger viewers who Gyles Brandreth is?
Gyles Brandreth presents strands of The One Show, and he was an MP, and he wears jumpers.
It is a picture of him, OK?
OK.
How did he hear about you?
I did a lot of art around the area, not like graffiti, but...
What is this area?
Barnes.
OK.
And I've always been an artist.
What was the cat called?
That, I can't remember the name of the cat. It was a black cat.
Right.
Lucky.
Lucky.
How much do you get paid?
£130.
£130?
And also, I'm allergic to cats, so...
Did the cat pose for you, or did you have a...
I had to do sittings with the cat.
Shut up, come on now.
I did.
You do not paint a cat and go, cat, sit on that for 3 hours. The cat moves about.
Yeah, no, and it kept moving around. It was the most annoying cat ever. Because I was like, please,
it's a cat.
sit down.
It's not going to sit on a stool.
Come on,
What is painting a picture of it? You can do it. I'll be fine for 3 hours, Kate, me.
It wouldn't.
You can totally do a sitting with a cat. Cats are very sedentary.
Yeah.
They stay in one place all the time. You can't command the cat, but you say, oh, here's a good moment. The cat seems to be sitting.
What
You
position is
take
the cat in the painting?
Like, sort of that.
No, come on.
It wasn't a nod. It was like sort of sat like
What was that about?
That's how cats sit, like that.
What, was their hands on their knees?
Like, it was a normal thing like that. You go, oh, Jack's doing a cat impression. That's a cat.
So the cat is sitting or standing?
Sitting? Well, do you want me to do it like that? Yeah, like that.
Anybody with half a brain would have taken a picture of the thing, gone home and painted it at home, wouldn't
I love this man.
No. I would have done that, but I didn't have that choice. She insisted that I come so that I could sort of get to know the cat.
I know Gyles Brandreth.
Do you know his cat?
I know his wife. What's his wife's name?
She's called Michelle.
Is his wife
Is that
Michelle?
true?
You were bluffing, weren't you?
It is.
Do you know Gyles Brandreth's wife? So you were quite a good artist, were you? Reasonably good if he's paying £130.
Yeah, I was...
Just, no, that's fine. Stay there. Draw me a cat.
Right.
I should at this point tell viewers at home that whilst we do like to receive your paintings, we can't return any of them.
The suspense is good. David is captivated.
Actually, rather good.
David's face is going, this is pretty.
This is... I like to do it quite quickly, obviously.
Well, that's fine. We're not
For
going to
David, this is an extreme sport, isn't it?
If people have just turned over, they're going to be thinking, what on earth is David looking at? OK, Jack, reveal the cat.
So, Lee, it's time to make up your mind. What do you think about Jack's story? Is he telling the truth, or is he, in fact, telling us a lie?
I'm right down the middle. Because Gyles, does he know you at this point? No.
He knew me through the family, through mother, and then my mum. He knew me through mother.
It's 100% true, honestly.
Well, you two fight it out between yourselves. I'm not getting involved.
It's definitely true.
I'll go with you because I like him.
Oh, touch me.
OK, they're both saying true, and I don't want to argue with the team, so I suppose
OK,
I'm
you're
gonna go
saying
with
it's true. Jack, true or lie?
It is true.
Well done, team.
Yes, it's true. And this is the most exciting part of all. We've got the painting here. Now, this has been lent to us by the Brandreths, Gyles and Michelle, and this is a bit special. Get ready.
A bit like a dog.
Yes, that is the most canine cat I've ever seen.
Look at that!
I am in an ongoing feud with a cat who walked 100 miles to torment me.
David's team.
Whose is the cat?
It doesn't belong to anyone. It's feral. The cat is essentially a criminal, in my eyes. He attacks my cats. He breaks into my house.
He breaks it. How do you mean breaks into your house?
Is anyone going to do the cat burglar joke, or we're letting it go? I don't mind. I'll hand it over if anyone wants it.
When you say breaks into your house, do you mean he just walks in?
Get rid of the first bit.
Yeah, how does it get in?
First of all, he just walked in through the cat flap because I have my own cat.
Right, that's not breaking in. That is, you cannot blame a cat for walking through a cat flap.
I now have a more advanced cat flap, which doesn't quite stop him 100% of the time.
What is the new cat flaps technique? Is it a chip cat flap?
Yes.
So you've chipped your 2 cats with a chip cat flap.
Yeah.
But the feral cat sometimes
Are you
hacks
Dr.
in.
Zeus?
What he does is the batteries in the cat flap only last 6 weeks. So he systematically tests the cat flap to see when the batteries have been exhausted, and then when they run out, it releases completely, and then he can gain access.
Does he sit on the outside looking at other cats going, I can wait?
So what does the cat do once it gains access?
He beats up my cats, he eats their food, and then he sleeps in their bed.
No.
So is it like a sort of violent Goldilocks?
And what about this 100... You said 100 miles.
Yes, I did.
Talk a little bit more about that.
I called the RSPCA to get rid of this cat. They refused to come out, but they did supply me with a trap. I trapped it, caught it, took it to the local vet. They then said, we'll release it.
Oh, right.
I said, you can't release it near my house because it will just come right back.
Right.
And that's when they said, yep, we'll get the RSPCA to take it to a cat sanctuary 100 miles away.
No.
Up in the sky. No.
I don't think the RSPCA would allow that.
What would allow it to be taken away to a cat
Taking
sanctuary?
away from its family.
But
Friends.
but
Doesn't
it's
have a
not
family.
its
What do you
family.
mean? How do you know it's not got a family? So you don't.
I do. If it does have a family, it doesn't like them very much because it lives with me.
They could be worried sick.
The vet says the RSPCA will take this 100 miles away to a sanctuary.
Yeah, give or take.
What happens then?
Well, I have probably 6 weeks of bliss of no feral cat interfering with my cats.
So then what happened?
I was quite sad that Mark Dennis was no longer around.
Who?
Mark Dennis.
Who is Mark Dennis?
Mark Dennis is the cat.
And why Mark
So
Dennis?
bad you named him twice.
Because the cat was a black cat. He was a dark menace, but I didn't want to, you know, paint him with that brush, so I decided to soften it a little bit and call him Mark Dennis.
And then what happened?
He found his way back.
From 100 miles away.
Do you know for a fact they took him 100 miles away? They might, because that sounded unlikely.
No, I believe them, though, because I kept in touch with them. I was worried about the cat, because when I had taken it in, the last few times when it had burgled my house, it had had a slight infection in its lungs, and it would snore loudly at night, like a fully grown man would snore.
Describe, if you can, the moment when Mark Dennis returned, because it must have been quite dramatic.
And noisy.
Sorry, you're taking me back.
Yeah.
Again, it was the snoring. I thought, it can't be Mark Dennis, because he's 100 miles away. I went down, and then he did the usual thing, and ran into the garden.
Diane, what are you thinking?
I think it's true.
I think it's true.
True.
So you're going to say true?
So we're going to say true.
OK. Rory, was it true or was it a lie?
Well, it was very true.
Yes.
In here is my pet cat,
from when I was little, and my dad had her stuff for me when she died.
Oh.
Here she is.
Can I just pop her on the desk there, Claudia?
Was she run over? Did you want your father to stuff your cat?
No,
once
but
it
I was
died?
so devastated, I was so upset that she died. So my dad, as a present, gave her to me, all stuffed, and she came to my wedding.
Sorry. Came to your wedding?
I think Lee, not of her own accord.
Was she a bridesmaid and came down on a trolley?
No.
Claudia, sorry, can you just remind us again how your poor little cat died?
Yes, well, she got sick.
And were you pleased with this dead cat?
Stuffed cat.
I was very pleased because she's sort of lucky. Like, if you're anyone's
She's
near
lucky?
her...
I would hate to see what happens to the unlucky one. What are we saying?
I want this to be true because it'll be funny. It'll be funny if it's true.
I just don't believe Claudia, even in Claudia's world, which I love. However, this is a step too far. I just don't believe.
Well, that's pretty convincing.
What the hell? She looks like a very lovely but slightly unstable woman, and I'm going to say that that's true.
You're saying it's true? OK, Claudia Winkleman, is it true or is it a lie?
It is indeed a lie.
Oh, what a shame.
After a visit to a school fete, I had to tell my neighbour their cat had been run over, while my own face was painted like a kitten.
Please, team.
Oh, please be true. Please. You were at the school fete as what? As a dad, or were you working on the stall doing the face painting or anything? Or were you
there was a sort of shift, so I did help with one of the stalls, but I was also there just as a parent.
What was the stall you were helping on?
Bric-a-brac.
Bric-a-brac?
Bric-a-brac.
How did you find out the cat had been killed?
Because it was killed regrettably close to our house.
What kind of cat was it?
A tabby cat.
And how was it killed, sorry?
Unfortunately, it was a truck that shouldn't have been... it was one of the very... not just a normal-sized lorry, a very, very long lorry that should not really have thought that it could drive around those streets, but was attempting to, and it flattened.
So you actually saw the lorry flatten the cat, and then you had to go and tell the neighbour?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the truth, except for the part about the truck and that actually you killed this cat.
What was the cat called?
She was called Jenny.
Jenny the cat. Jenny.
What was the owner called? Tiddles? In a horrible name mix-up, they started calling each other by the wrong name.
If you want to find fault with someone's cat naming logic, you've got to have a go at my neighbours.
Well, they're grieving. Let's leave them out of it.
Yeah.
Did you
kill their cat?
I didn't.
You say you didn't kill the cat. You might have been partly responsible because you were there dressed as a cat when it happened. It might have been the driver of the truck.
I wasn't dressed as a cat.
Has looked over and gone, size of that cat. Meanwhile, the little cat crossing the road has gone, is that your mummy? Those two incidents combined, you've killed little Jennifer, to give her full name.
No, just either that or it was a hit aimed for you, and the description given was, looks a bit like a cat.
Did you pick the cat up and take it to the neighbours, or did you just point to the cat and say, that's where your cat is? No.
I didn't pick it up.
What happened when they answered the door? Talk us through that conversation, because that must have been very awkward.
Had you still, at this point, not remembered that your face was painted like that?
No, I didn't until after I told them, and then I went home and went, I just had to tell so-and-so.
So they've opened the door. Can you remember anything about the first few words of that conversation?
Well, it was very awkward. I've never had to do that before. So I said...
Meow!
They said hello in a sort of cheery, maybe he's come round for some sort of jolly reason.
Well, no one gave them that impression.
And I said, I'm really sorry, but I'm afraid that I've just seen Jenny get run over.
And they said...
What?
What did they say then? Oh, sorry, you're acting.
They said what?
I thought you were asking me, sorry. I genuinely thought you didn't understand the question, but you were in character, sorry.
Yeah. If we get to a point where you're asking questions I don't understand, something has happened.
The regulars like that
one. And they said, thank you very much for telling us. And then I went back into my house, I live next door, and...
Did you go through the front door or back? When you realised you had your makeup on still at home,
Which my wife pointed out to me. I came home and I said, oh, this dreadful thing's just happened. And my wife said, you know that you've still got your face painted like a kitten? And I said, oh, no.
Did you and your wife look at each other in shock and just feel terrible, or did you both instantly start laughing?
She laughed immediately.
She's an awful woman, though.
No, you're not. Ignore the Irish man.
You're the best female truck driver in the world. You all right, Miles? You know what that is? Furballs.
So what are you thinking, Lee? Does this have the ring of truth for you?
Amelia, what do we think?
I think it's a total lie.
Do you? Not
Do you?
even an ounce of truth in this?
Not for me. It's going round to the neighbours, and you haven't really actually told us anything about the neighbours. You haven't talked about who it was who answered the door and how you then got to talk to them.
Oh, right, well, Paul answered the door.
Paul. And Paul is married too.
Paul is not married.
Oh, but you did say them. You told them that their cat had died.
Yeah, there are a number of ways in which people cohabit.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe
I
it?
don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
Are we going to say
Say a lie.
Says lie.
OK. Miles, truth or lie?
Oh, ye of little... It's a lie.
I keep a spare front door key on my cat's collar. If I ever get locked out, I simply call my cat and he comes to my rescue.
Please, T.
Wow.
What's the name of your cat, Sheila?
Stanley.
Could you do the call? How do you call Stanley?
What's it, chicken? Surely that's how he calls you.
Stanley's... I was confusing because when he wanted to come in, I didn't have a cat flap, and I would do the intercom and say, "Are you there, Stanley?" And he'd go, "Meow."
So you haven't got a cat flap?
I haven't got a cat flap, no.
You haven't got a cat flap, and the spare key is round his neck.
Yeah.
What happens if you come and he's in the house?
He doesn't have them on when he's in the house.
Oh, he takes them off, does he, when he comes in?
I take them
Does he take it off and hide it under the brick for you?
I take them off when it's in the house, because it jingles.
So do you put him out every time you leave the house?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Are you not worried about burglars? Like, seeing the key around your cat's neck and then using him like a key ring and just...
No, because he's...
This key's not working!
No, it's in a metal case. It looks almost like a whistle or something.
Oh, I
And you
see.
just pull it out, and then inside there's a
Does
key.
he also wear one of those medallions with his address on it?
No, he's got a chip. He's got a chip inside him.
He doesn't need anyone to bring him home with his address, because he can just come and go as he pleases with the key.
When was the last time you had to use this method?
About a fortnight ago.
What happened?
I'd forgot my key. I left it inside. It was late at night, and I'd just come back from the theatre. It was about 11 o'clock.
Oh, what had you seen? Don't say cats. What?
I'd seen Jess Butterworth's new play.
Can I just ask why you don't mortise lock your door?
Modest?
Mortise.
Let me say
In my defence,
my friend is saying, Mary, you're a jib, might still lock the door. You need to put a chin in the middle of the day, idea. Don't bring your cats down.
I don't know what a mortise lock is.
Well, you know the big lock. You unlock the big lock and then you unlock your Yale.
He wouldn't be able to have a big key round his neck.
You obviously aren't that security conscious if you've only got a Yale lock
I've
at
only
all
got
times.
a Yale lock.
I think
all
if
times.
Sheila was that security conscious, she wouldn't tie her key to her cat.
So 2 weeks ago, you went to the theatre and you got back at sort of 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
What time did you get back from the theatre? Usually about 11?
About 11,
Just making a note of this, I'm going to rob you.
All right, what are you going to say?
Lie.
You think it's a lie?
Lie. I'm going with Mark. Lie.
I think she's too sensible to do this, Sheila.
OK.
Yeah.
You're saying it's a lie. Sheila, truth or lie?
Well, it is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Sheila doesn't keep a spare front door key on her cat's collar.